Good morning, everyone. So this is just a quick, easy makeup look that I will do when I'm really tired and don't want to get up. Starting off by using my e.l.f. Eye Refresh, which is a really cooling serum that I just rub under my eyes and I pat it in. And it just leaves a really cooling sensation and gets my eyes awake and ready for the day. The next thing we're going to use is the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer. And I'm just going to use my ring finger to pat this in all over my eyelid and kind of work it in. I also like to put it in on my inner tear duct and rub it right beneath that inner tear duct area because I get a lot of creasing under my eyes and I find that this helps to prevent that. So I'm just patting it all in, making sure it's nice and tacky and ready to go. The next product I'm going to be using is the Morphe 350 eyeshadow palette, which is just perfect for the upcoming fall, and it's got gorgeous oranges and warm tones. And I'm going to be taking my Morphe E30 and I'm going to be using that and picking a shadow from the palette that's really close to my skin tone and just patting it all over that eyeshadow primer just to set it down so it's no longer tacky, and the rest of the colors that I go in with will blend easily over top of it. I don't like to get too much product initially because I'm going to be blending on top of it. After that, we're taking the E27 by Morphe, which is a fatter, fluffy brush, and I'm going to be using that in the crease with a warmer toned kind of an orangey color, and we're just going to be working that all over the crease area and blending it into the crease. After that's all blended in, I'm going to take my E17 by Morphe again, and I will be taking that darker matte-ish red shade right in the dead center of the palette, and I'm going to be using that to really deepen up that outer V and that crease, just to add some dimension into that outer area. And again, this is in like 4 times speed because I was moving really slow this morning because I guess I still just wasn't awake. I don't know. The next product I'm going to take is a 105 by BH Cosmetics, and I'm just going to use that to really intensify that dark matte brown shade on the outer V of my eye, just to add more dimension and intensity to the look. So that's what I'm doing here. The next product I'm going to be taking is a small eyeshadow brush. This is by Wet n Wild. Sorry I did a crappy job showing it to you. But this brush is like $1 and it does such a great job packing on those shadows. So I'm just going to take that shimmer shade. It's a really light shimmer. And I'm going to put it all over that lid space that I haven't filled in the crease and stuff. And I'm just using packing, swiping motions just to fill in all that space and make sure it's all where I want it to be. And then I'm also going to take some setting spray just to really intensify the shimmer. And so I'm going to dip my brush into the shadow, and I'm picking a different shadow. This one's a little darker than the last. So I'm taking that shimmer shade and I'm going to be packing that all over the outer, almost 2/3 of my lid, but keeping it out of that crease work that we've already done. And I'm going to use that and just pack it on. And by spraying it with that setting spray, it's really going to intensify the shimmer and make it stand out more and really pop, which will help make your eyes look more open and alive and awake. now that that's done, I'm going to be going in with my E17 by Morphe, and I will be taking just a soft matte brown, and I'll be using that to really blend those colors together. So I'm blending that crease in with the shimmer shades that we had just packed down. This will just help the look be more flawless and put together and have no hard lines. No, you know, hard lines. Yeah. And now that that's all blended out, the next thing we're going to do is eyeliner, and I'm just going to bust through this. This is in super fast. This is just the Urban Decay 24/7 eyeliner in Perversion. It's their black shade. And I'm just doing a quick little wing. I'm not doing anything too big or dramatic. I'm just doing a little wing today. Now that we're all winged out, I'm just going to take my brow pencil in Taupe. This is by e.l.f. and I'm just going to fill in my brows. And now that they're filled in, I'm going to take some NYX brow mascara in the shade Chocolate. And I'm just going to brush that through my brows so that way it kind of just sticks them in place and they're not going to move around and they're going to stay where I want them to all day. After my eyebrows are done, I'm going to go in and conceal. I'm not doing a foundation today. I wasn't feeling like a full face of foundation, so I'm just going to take my Maybelline Dark Circle Eraser concealer, and I'm going to put that under my eyes, on the bridge of my nose, on my forehead, on my chin, on my upper lip, all the places that you will typically highlight and conceal. That's what I'm going to do. And this is just going to help bring a really even tone to my skin because I have pretty good skin to begin with, so this is just going to help even out the redness that is on my face, and it's going to make it look more even and ready for the day, especially if I actually have to leave my house by chance and go somewhere. This will really help make me look alive. After I put all that on my face, I realized I didn't have a beauty blender on my desk, and so I decided to try to use a blush brush by e.l.f. and it was not working. The bristles were just way too soft. It wasn't pushing in the product. It was leaving little brush lines in the product, and it was making me so frustrated. So you'll see here in a minute I get like cranky and I have to go find my beauty blender. So I found my beauty blender, and now I'm just gonna blend it all out and blend in that concealer and just, you know, pounce it into the skin and make it really flawless. The next thing I'm going to do is do my blush, and I'm using the e.l.f. blush palette in, oh sorry, I forgot setting. I have to set my eyes, so I'm setting my eyes using that same blush brush that I was trying to blend out my concealer with, and then I will be moving on to blush. Wherever I put that concealer, I'm going to put that setting powder just so it doesn't move. Now I'm using blush, and I'm using the e.l.f. blush palette in light, and I'm just taking the blush brush and dipping it into those two shades that are diagonal to each other, the brown one and then the bright pink one. And they were so pigmented. I didn't realize how pigmented they were until I was done putting the blush on my face, and I was like, whoa, I put on way too much blush. I look crazy. I look like a crazy person, like, whoa. And so after I get those evenly distributed in a crazy manner, I'm going to take my beauty blender, and on that fat side where I blended in my concealer, I'm just going to pounce that on the blush, and by doing that, it's going to kind of blend out the blush and blend it into the skin and make it less intense and crazy. And then I'm going to put on my mascara. I'm using the Perversion mascara by Urban Decay, and I'm just putting that on. I forgot to curl my lashes, so I'm sorry. It doesn't look very good. And then the next product I'm using is that same blush palette and that brown shade in that. And I'm going to just take, this is just a small little fluffy eyeshadow brush by Ulta, and I'm going to run that on my lower lash line just to smoke it out and add some color to that lower lash line.